Hello, my name is Aya, and here are my top 5 tips for backpacking in Costa Rica. Tip number 1 is to use public transportation. If you're not on a super tight schedule and you have some more flexibility, I really recommend this as it can save you so much money. In the very beginning of my backpacking trip, I took a couple of the tourist shuttles because they're faster and more convenient, but they cost upwards of $60 for every shuttle ride per person. So I definitely recommend it. By the end of my trip, I was using only public transportation, and once you get used to the system, it's really not such a daunting thing. Yeah, you're just gonna have to go with the flow. Sometimes it can take a long time because there's lots of different stops, and there's like transfers where you have to walk from one bus station to another in different towns. But yeah, I really recommend this, and I think it made my experience feel a lot more authentic and adventurous to be traveling like how the locals do instead of just getting shuttled from place to place. It's also a great idea to ask the workers at your hostel if they have connections with any local taxi drivers. There are a lot of locals who just use their private vehicles as taxis, and you can connect with them on WhatsApp. And if you message them, they'll just come pick you up. They'll take you like across town. They'll take you to excursions that you're going to. And they're usually super flexible. You can like message them in a day in advance and be like, hey, can you pick me up tomorrow at this time? And this is a great way to help support the locals financially, as well as build a trustworthy relationship with someone who is safe to take you around town, as well as getting their insights on the best places to go. Yeah, this is something that I do whenever I'm staying in a town for more than a couple of days. Tip number 2 is to stay in private hostel rooms. If you don't want to be in a shared room with a bunch of strangers, and you also don't want to pay for an expensive hotel, most hostels have private rooms, and it's really nice because like you get the privacy of having your own space, but you still get the communal aspects of the kitchen and the common areas to meet fellow travelers. And this is especially nice if you're traveling with a close friend or a partner. I was backpacking with one of my best friends, Grace, and we didn't mind sharing a bed. So we were getting private rooms in multiple different hostels, and it was so nice because like we could just have our stuff out everywhere and not have to worry about like putting it all in lockers or like tidying up or like having to sneak into the room in the night so as not to wake up other people. Yeah, I definitely recommend this, and if you split it with someone, it ends up usually coming out to about the same cost as you would each spend for your dorm bed. So this is a great option that I definitely recommend. Tip number 3 is to give yourself freedom and flexibility. This depends on your style of travel, of course. I figured out really early on in this trip that my style of travel is very flowy, go where the wind takes me and figure it out as it comes. So it did not serve me at all to book all of my hostels in advance. I spent so much time booking all of these hostels, and then the second town that I got to, we fell in love with it and then canceled all of our accommodations for the next 2 weeks. So if you think that this might be your style of travel as well, if you have the time to be flexible like this, I really recommend just going with the flow and booking hostels as you go. Pretty much every hostel that I went to had like same day booking. Like you could just walk in and ask for a room. I know they're not all like this, but I don't think that you'll have any problems finding a place to stay. And this is really nice because whenever you get to a new place, if you make some friends, you can go stay at the same hostel as them, or if someone gives you recommendations for the best place to go, you're not already booked somewhere else. Or you can book in advance, but book places that have like completely refundable cancellation. Tip number 4 is to cook for yourself. This will save you so much money. It's great if you're on a budget, and all hostels have a kitchen available for all of the guests to use. This is also a great way to meet other travelers because the kitchen is like a nice common area. Everyone's coming together and cooking their dinners around the same time. I made a lot of friends this way, and it also gives you the opportunity to like visit the local markets, get produce and food, and I really enjoyed doing this. I actually made friends with a local guy in one town, and we were like cooking our dinners with him. He'd come to our hostel every night, or we'd go to his house and like he'd cook a meal for us if we brought the groceries, and I just found it to be so fun. If you are gonna eat out, I definitely recommend going to the Sodas. Sodas are small little local restaurants, pretty cheap meals. Like you can just get the typical like Costa Rican lunch, and usually it comes with a juice or a smoothie, like a fresh papaya, and it's delicious and really affordable. Tip number 5 is to bring a filtering water bottle with you. I didn't do this, and I wish that I had, because the first 2 weeks of my travels I was staying in more populated places, and basically everyone at the hostels that I was in, they were all just drinking the tap water, and personally I don't even drink the tap water here in the United States. I'm just not comfortable with it. So we were buying bottled water for the first 2 weeks, and then the second 2 weeks we were in the rural mountains, and we were drinking the tap water because it was spring fed, but still I wish I would have had a filtering water bottle. It would have saved me money for the first 2 weeks, and I just would have felt a lot more comfortable drinking water from all of the hostels. Yeah, I didn't do this last time, but I will definitely be doing this for pretty much all of my travels in the future. Thank you so much for watching my top 5 tips for backpacking Costa Rica. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I would love to answer them. I have a lot of experience traveling in this area and a lot of insights that I would be happy to share with anyone who's curious about having this adventure for themselves. Thank you. Bye.